Hey guys, good evening and thanks for joining. So morning we started AWS services related to cloud security. From there we can continue. So next one is AWS Firewall Manager. So already we discussed about Firewall Manager in the network security side. So under next generation firewall. So what is Firewall Manager? So this is applicable to standalone deployment and also distributed deployment. If more than one firewall, if you are managing in our organization side, all those firewall implementations, configurations, and also troubleshooting, even policies creation, firewall upgrades from a single console, we can go and we can monitor. So that is called as a firewall manager. Even at the time of the investigation also, so we can go and we can see the dashboard directly under the firewall manager, and we can go and we can create the tickets and we can do the investigation side. For example, if the 10 locations contain the firewall, so 10 into 2 firewalls, because we have to maintain the high availability. So total altogether, it will come around 20 firewalls. If you want to maintain all those 20 firewalls from a single console, there we can use firewall manager. So example, in the Fortinet side, we can call it Forti manager. In the Cisco side, we can call it Cisco firewall manager. In the Palo Alto side, we can call it Panorama. In the Juniper side, Juniper manager, and so on. Okay, so same as it is, same concept you can apply in the our cloud environment also. If you have the more than one account, one of the account is belongs to the machine learning team, and one of the account is belongs to Hadoop and data science team, one of the account is belongs to application development team, and one of the account is belongs to some other teams. So each and every account whatever we are creating, we have to create a firewall. We can use either BYOL firewall, or else we can use so dedicatedly AWS firewall. So if you want to manage all those firewalls from a single console, we can use firewall manager. Okay. So same concept, managing of all the firewalls for different AWS accounts. So what is my managing here? Configuration side, administration side, implementation side, troubleshooting
Troubleshooting.
side, yeah, even investigation side also we can use these firewall managers. Okay, so same thing, this one if you want to go and compare with the our BYOL firewalls, firewall managers. So just now give an example. So Forti manager, Panorama from Palo Alto, in the similar way, Cisco manager from Cisco ASA firewall, and Sophos we have seen Sophos firewall management or Sophos firewall manager. It's for Sophos side and so on. Okay, so this one I can go and I can validate related to Amazon Web Service, Azure side, and also GCP side. Sorry guys, this one here. So Azure side, and also I can go and I can validate GCP side and OCA side, and I can update these two columns. Okay, couple of things are not providing by these two and also some other cloud service providers. And what it will prevent? Firewall manager, same as it is. So whatever firewall we discussed, all those things it can be managed by firewall as well. So even WASP top 10, basic WASP top 10 also. So next one is AWS Security Manager. What is this AWS Security Manager? This one initially it is not there. It is developed recently only. So it will take care of all the securities. So and all the resources if you want to access. So we can use the Security Manager. So AWS Security Manager is not there, I think so. Let me verify AWS Security Manager is there. Console. Couple of options are changed by the by. When I was working on 2014 to 2019 up to, I mean, in the past and also in the present, there are so many names also changed. Yeah, there is no security manager. Secrets manager is there, not security manager. Okay, I'll remove this one. Maybe I will add once again everything. So next one, AWS IAM, identity and access management. So here, maintaining of the identity based on the role based access control and based on the what else services they want to access. For that one, we can use the identity and access management. So overall, they have to access the account. For that one, we can use the identity and access management. Okay, so let's go here. What is this AWS identity access management? Securely manage access to services and resources. So based on the role wise, we have to configure. So what are the different types of roles we can configure here? For example, AWS DevOps team, AWS SecOps team, AWS admin, AWS DevSecOps. So AWS TechOps, technical operations, AWS MLAI. In such a way, we can go and we can create base who are all wants to access that account. So according to that one, by the by, if they want to access that account based on the diagram wise, all these are basically internal employees. So who has the account to our organization under the AWS services, not for customers or clients. Customers or clients, we will not give the access to AWS account. We can give the application, they can create their own sign up and they can go and they can log in and they can see it. So based on the public wise, but here whatever we are discussing for the internal employee perspective. For example, so take example of Facebook itself. This is the facebook.com. Now facebook.com, whenever the public they want to access, they will come via internet. For that, for them, we will not give the any identity and access management roles to them. In the data center or maybe in the on-premise where the employees are sitting, maybe DevOps or TechOps, or maybe SecOps or DevSecOps or application development team or product development team or data science team or AWS admin or AWS network team. For those people, internally employees only, we can give the access to these AWS services or resources. So according to their team, according to their role, we can go and we can create, and according to the role-based access control using multi-factor authentication, we can provide access to them. By the way, if they want to access to these applications also, compulsory it's implementing VPN. You can see that is the reason I can create a VPN here. So they have to access most of the customers. One of the drawback here, without VPN, they can go and they can sign it. So that absolutely wrong. So end users, they have to access the VPN and then in the browser, they have to give the AWS URL link. So thereafter, they can provide the username and password, whatever username and password is created based on the so role. Example, DevOps means DevOps, security means security, TechOps means TechOps, and so on. So later, it will come one of the multi-factor authentication OTP. Using that one, we have to enter. We should not expose so our consoles to the public, AWS consoles to the public. Okay. So it's a mandatory. When they want to access through VPN also, once again, so a couple of companies, they will jump server. So if you want to access here, we have to create one more, even though they want to access one thing in between these two. So we'll create one of the gem server, like RDP connectivity in between on-premise to cloud. Okay. So user has to connect the gem server, and user also has to, first he has to connect the VPN. After connecting the VPN, he has to connect the gem server. In the gem server, so we have to provide the username and password. So from there, he can give the, okay, so AWS console link, and from there he can access it. So there are two different types of controls we are providing here. Okay. So one is VPN
Is it
control.
like Citrix?
Yes, exactly. Citrix application gateway right now, all the multinational companies they are giving. That's absolutely right answer. Yeah. So this is the way how the, okay, so access we can go and we can access it. Okay. So that is called identity and access management. One more thing here, whenever we are creating any role in the AWS account, we have to generate the access key and secret key. No time giving. When we are creating user account, normally we will not create the user account. AWS administrator or whoever the managing the AWS account, in the similar way Azure administrator or whoever is managing the Azure account, those people will create the, okay, so account, or nothing but they will give the access to us. So creating the user account by the administrator, by the cloud administrator. So based on the role, they will create username and password, and additionally they will generate access key and secret key, and finally end user can access via multi-factor authentication using the access key and secret key. Only one time is required access key and secret key generation. So remaining all the times is not required. So they can load it. So they can give the username and password for us. So access key and secret key will be generated by administrator, and we no need to access that one. So that one they will go and they will create the Active Directory group policy or identity access management group policy. So there they can go and they can upload this access key and secret key. So, and finally, what are the different types of, finally, what are the different types of attacks it can be prevented? It can be prevented privilege escalation attack, brute force attack,
All authentication category.
all authentication, right? Yeah, all authentication category of the attacks. So that is about
And
yeah.
also we'll get this no golden ticket and silver ticket.
Yeah, that is also possible. Yes, because even though we are using either,
Active Directory.
yes, it is possible. Yeah. Yesterday, entire question from Infosys: what is golden ticket and silver ticket attack? So golden ticket attack, silver ticket attack. Yes, these are all possible. Not Infosys, Cognizant. Sorry, Cognizant. Next attack. Sir, next security service under the AWS IDs. So here we can use the Azure Active Directory. So on the on-premise side, identity and access management, and also PAM, privilege access management solutions we can use from Microsoft, from Ping Identity, from HP, from IBM. There are so many vendors are providing. So next one is AWS Cognito. So 10th one, AWS Cognito. So Cognito meaning here, it's a hiding of our identity, basically. So why we can use this cognito identity management for our applications? It can be used for identity management for the applications hosted in the cloud environment. So same attacks, it will fall under here as well. So same thing here as also. So as I said, so OCI and Azure and GCP, I will fill it because I have to do comparison. Terminology it is different. The next one is AWS Detective, Amazon Detective Service. So what is this Amazon Detective Service? It will do whenever any potential security issues are happening. So these using the Amazon Detective, it give the alert notification, detection. It will not do the prevention. It will do only detection. So that is the importance of the Amazon Detective. So investigate potential.
Is that similar to IDS?
Yes, similar to IDS, correct. Potential security issues. So it's like IDS, yes. So sorry. Hold on a minute, one second. Sorry, guys. So next service is AWS Cloud Trial. So what is a cloud trial? It will do basically, it will log in into the, it will do the logging of login failure and login success. Whenever these DevOps people or TechOps people or security people or AWS administrators are, okay, so whoever wants to access the AWS account, those people, maybe they can enter wrong password, that time it will come login failure attempt. Maybe they will give the correct password, it will come as login success. Okay, for those scenarios, so all those it will do the logging part. This one, if you're comparing with on-premise on the Windows side, we can say under the event viewer, audit related logs or security related logs. So cloud trial is equivalent to audit related logs or security related logs, login failure and login success. It will provide login failure, nothing but security, audit related logs, nothing but login failure and login success. Entire question this one for AWS accounts. Okay. So obviously here authentication failure, login category of the attacks. So next service what we are going to discuss here, AWS Cloud Watch. So obviously other than security audit related logs, so what are the pending remaining three different types of logs? One is setup related logs, next one system related logs, and also application related logs. So whenever someone is trying to do the configuration related changes in the AWS account, those configuration related logs, for example, maybe I want to deploy one of the firewall, maybe I want to deploy one of the AWS Shield, maybe you want to deploy one of the server. So all these are configuration oriented related. So this is also called setup related logs. Next one is system related logs. In case these instances, whatever we are creating, these tools, whatever we are creating, in case that is performance related, bandwidth related, CPU related, utilization related issues, it will crossing more than any 80% or 90%, those logs. And finally, whatever applications we are hosting in the cloud environment, so all those applications, whenever so our public or external people or maybe our internal employee, they are trying to access those logs also, it will generate. That will provide by CloudWatch. So it will provide, it will log, otherwise it will log system setup. So setup is also called config, and also application related logs across AWS account. So that is called AWS CloudWatch. Now guard duty. So this also entire question. Do you know about guard duty, or did you work on any time guard duty? Guard duty basically threat detection and monitoring and logging and processing tool. Okay.
SIM.
Yeah, it is like a SIM tool in the, it's, they are saying about SIM tool, but actually if we're comparing with the our IBM Curator Splunk, it doesn't have those many features validation part. So it will do the managing of the threat detection, and also it will do the alerting. Yeah, it's like a SIM, correct. So it will do the log collection, processing, and also real-time monitoring, security
Alert.
or threat incident investigation tool or
Alerting.
service. Yeah, alerting also. So it will do managing of all the threats. So obviously all category of the attacks, what are we discussed.
Hmm.
So here we can use SIM tool. So what are SIM tools we discussed? All those tools, for example, Splunk, HP
Curator.
ArcSight, Curator,
Micro.
McAfee, Exabeam, extra. So that is about guard duty. These three questions are very important, guys. Okay. If you know these services compulsory, I'm saying you can crack the cloud security vacancy also. So next one, what you know about the cloud means in case you are applying for cyber security SOC operation, and what you know about the cloud, or do you have any experience on the cloud? You can say yes, I do experience on the approximate 6 months to 1 year experience on the cloud side. So a couple of services we are monitoring the cloud. So in my organization, we are using AWS account. So what are the different types of services we configured in the cloud where the applications are hosted? For example, so these are all the different types of services we configured in our AWS account where the applications are deployed. Okay. So you can at least name around 5 to 6 or 7 or 8. So next one, AWS Inspector already we discussed. So AWS Maze. So why we can use this means basically it will discover and also it will protect our sensitive data, and also it will classify also. Okay. It will classify the data based on machine learning, and also behavioral pattern, and additionally it will discover, it will protect sensitive data. Yeah, so that is called AWS Maze. How we can compare this one with our on-premise? What is the solution name?
OBA.
Protecting
OBA. OBA and SOAR.
Uvan SOAR.
Detection
Classifying of the
methods.
data. Here data, classify the data. So detection methods are this is but it will do the protecting of and also discovering of sensitive data. DLP, yes, DLP violation or data
Data exfiltration.
exfiltration, yeah, or data breach attacks. If I are comparing this one already, Digital Guardian and also McAfee EPO, Symantec, ForcePoint, Proofpoint. Proofpoint not only email gateway, even they have DLP also. Trellix from Trend Micro, Symantec, yeah, Sophos. All these are different as DLP tools. So let's go for next one. AWS Security Lake. This is new one. Basically, this one is there. This is not existing from, I think, up to 2021 or 22. This one is added recently only. So what this security lake it will do automatically, it will centralize our security data, and also along with that one, based on the couple of clicks. So that is AWS Security Lake. So it will automatically centralize where our data is existing or our security is existing. Yeah.
So similar to the one which we talked about in a SIM tool that it will store the data like nodes.
Yes, correct. That is data lake or node. Yeah. So we discussed about data lake in Exabeam. So same concept here. Yeah. Automatically centralize security data. So that is called AWS Security Lake. So obviously here, what are the different types of category of the attacks? Any guess? All category of the attacks. This one, if we're comparing with Exabeam Data Lake, Node.
Nodes.
Yeah. Any other? Managers and processors. So that is about AWS Security Lake. Next one. AWS Artifacts. So why we can use AWS Artifact? So it mainly for on-demand access, mainly for compliance reports. If you want to see any GDPR or PCI DSS, and also if you want to generate with on-demand, not scheduled one, with on-demand reports if you want to generate, so then automatically it will give the ISO 27000 CS auditing benchmark related reports, and also how many audits are failed, how many are passed, then PCI DSS, HIPAA, it will contain, there are so many. It can be used.
Vulnerability management.
Yeah. Not vulnerability management. Vulnerability management is AWS Inspector. Morning we discussed. Mainly for the generating of the complaints reports. It can be used.
But this is also part of a vulnerability management. Right?
Yeah, part of the GRC, complaints reports. CS also one of the complaints report. PCIDS also one of the complaints. And HIPAA also one of the complaints. Is a part of GRC.
But actually in VM, when we do this, we'll run the scan against all these policies, right? So in that sense, I was telling like VM also.
VM is directly scanning. Okay, we can schedule on demand. Yeah, on demand also scheduled scan. So that one we can use AWS Inspector. So whether you want to do on demand scans for whatever virtual machines we configured as a EC2 instances, then it will give the vulnerability report. So the competitors like an SS we discussed morning. So coming back here, it will give the once you are enabling the complaints report. If I want to generate now my client or customer is asking, I need PCI's reports for last 1 week, or maybe I need for today report. In that scenario, we
Right.
can go and we can generate the artifacts reports. So
No, this is also similar to ad hoc report which we create like on demand.
that's correct. Yeah,
So,
on demand scan. Yes, right. Yeah.
so because if something has got compromised and we want to do on one particular complaints, we can do it, right?
Yes. Yeah. It can be used on demand access to get
Ad hoc scans.
yeah complaints reports. So this one basically it is there is no attacks will fall under here because it's a report. I'm ignoring this one. And if you are comparing this one here, ad hoc scan or on demand scans and also GRC complaints reports. So that is about AWS artifact. So next one, AWS audit manager. So it will do automatic auditing only. Continuously what it will do, it will check our auditing part. We no need to how the Nessus tool, for example, is doing the scanning and it will giving the how many hardening benchmark is a passed or failed. Same way, if you are enabling the AWS audit manager to couple of instances, it will run the scan and it will give the how many are passed and how many are failed. It will do auditing automatically. But we have to go and we have to do manual analysis also. Whatever failed one are there, we have to take and we have to see why it is failed, and also we have to create a tickets to respective business owner or asset owner, and then they will fix those issues. So this is applicable to even PCI DSS. This is applicable to other audit fails also. Continuously, it will do audit across AWS accounts. Example, CS. Even one more thing, ISO 27001 also, if you are enabling, out of 114 complaints, how many are passed and how many are failed also it will give. For that one, first we have to configure all those complaints here.
So
PCA
similar to the
DSS.
Netflix dashboard where we have all
Yes,
this.
correct. Dashboard. Yeah.
I think we need to select it parallelly or we have to run two different scans.
Two different scans. So there is no attack fall under this one. So here dashboards for any GRC tool or VM tool. So next one is what are the pending things? Audit manager is over. Secrets manager is not completed. Certificate manager. So what is the certificate manager? If you want to generate, if you want to provision and also deploy and also rotate the certificate manager instead of going to third party. So for example, we discussed about VeriSign, Symantec, Komodo, public key infrastructure, RHLIDM, GoDaddy, and also DigiCert and Google Test Services and so on. So those places we can go and we can purchase the certificate and we can deploy where our website is deployed on top of the web server or so web server or maybe application server. Okay. So same concept, instead of going and purchasing third party, we can go and we can generate so certificate here itself using the certificate manager. So then how we can do this one or what the importance for provisioning of the certificate, deploying of the certificate, and also managing of the certificate.
And for this also we'll have license, right?
License
Expiry.
is a mandatory. Everything is a money only. Whatever we are discussing, all these services are completely licenses oriented only. There is no free cost at all. Everything you have to pay money.
Expiry also
Yeah,
will be there for this.
yes, expiry also will be there. Yeah. So that is about AWS Certificate Manager. Next one. So Firewall Manager we discussed. AWS Directory Service. Nothing but AWS Active Directory. So why we can use here? Obviously, it's a direct directory, and it will maintain and host all the whatever host machines are existing or instances we are creating or virtual machines we are creating, and even it will provide about the who is the user accounts and so on. So that is called AWS directory. It will host and manage
All the assets in an organization.
all the assets, users, and systems and so on. So that is the AWS directory. So here, Active Directory related attacks.
Golden ticket.
Yes. So here tools are, as I said, VeriSign and also Symantec, DigiSet.
Yes.
Next one, Google Trust Service, GTS. Next one
And
is
what about Cloudflare?
GoDaddy. Yeah, Cloudflare also. Next, PKI. And very famous is Komodo. There are so many. See, why I'm comparing with the on-premise tools, please remember, either we can use these services, or if you want to choose any or bring your own license. If I don't like this one, then I can go and I can purchase my bring your own license in my AWS service account. That is the reason I provided the comparison. So either we can use this one, or alternatively can go and we can use third party related services also. So here on-premise Active Directory, obviously.
Cloud.
So next one, key management system already we discussed, firewall manager we discussed, network firewall we discussed. Next one, did we discuss about payment cryptography? No, I
No.
think AWS payment cryptography. This one added newly. So what it will do, it will cryptography oriented operations like symmetric cryptography and asymmetric cryptography algorithm if you want to choose. We are following FIPS 140-2 compliance. So for any payment you are doing, so that cryptography it will provide encryption, and also it will provide the key exchanges in between the our end user to the backend server. All those things it is possible via cryptography concept. It can be used cryptography operations. So finally, AWS Resource Manager, last one. So on the on-premise side, anyone? On-premise side, which one we are using?
Encryption.
Yeah, encryption, decryption, symmetric,
Asymmetric.
and asymmetric. So next one is AWS Resource Manager. So AWS Resource Access Manager, whenever someone is accessing any resources, it is deployed in the AWS account. So what did this Resource Access Manager will do? So it will simplify the whatever resource is accessed by the DevOps team or whoever the end user, and also it will secure that particular service. And finally, even it will provide whatever resource they are accessing, it will safeguard those So access control, that is called AWS Resource Access Manager. Okay. It will simplify the access, and also it will provide secure service to share AWS services. Okay.
It
So
would
now,
be like the role-based access controls, right?
correct. Role-based access control or role-based access control.
Then can we also think about PAM because we do give them,
Yeah,
right?
give the PAM also we can think. Why? Because whenever they need specific time period, that one what we can call it as.
PAM.
Yeah, PAM only. What I'm trying here, what is my question here? What are
Mm.
PAM resources we are giving? For example, maybe vendor directly with
Mm.
Amazon, we need one of the support ticket. We don't know how to
Mm.
configure that one. We contact me and we went and we raised a case with the Amazon vendor service provider. They came to online. They need 2 days to access to this particular AWS account, whatever it is deployed in our organization side.
Temporary access.
Temporary access. The temporary accessing PAM, least privilege, in the cloud terminology, what we can call it as? Anyone?
IAM.
No.
So actually, this would be like without creating any account for them, we will be doing it.
Yes, correct. What is that one is called as? Correct.
Guest guest logging or something.
Yeah, that's right. Just in time access.
Okay.
Just in time, JIT. Note I'm giving here.
Or just enough administration we can give, right?
Yes. Just in time access. We can give as the least privilege whenever someone is need temporary access. Okay, that is called JIT. Now I have one more question. So if you want to do database encryption in the cloud environment, what will you do? Example, I'm using PostgreSQL database. So in that scenario, as a security side, whether you can go and you can deploy the overall solution.
No, I need support from other teams as well.
Yeah, who's that
Dependency.
support team? Yeah,
System admin or network admin.
database encryption.
Yeah.
The owner,
Owner of which owner?
Uh,
I given hint
database
also.
owner.
Database only. Database owner. So now whatever solution they provided, they asked about database encryption, whether they want entire database encryption. We need to first what all things we have to provide from our side. So we have to validate what are the encryption ciphers they are using for encrypting of the either entire overall database, or whether they are to encrypt as a file oriented or cell oriented, okay, or table oriented. So this is the way how the SQL database it will work, correct? So then whatever encryption mechanism they are choosing and what is ciphers they are choosing, whether those ciphers are strongest ciphers or not, and also
Mm.
are we implementing database hardening to that database server or not. So this is the way we can provide solution and also implementation to the not implementation done by them as a consultant. We can validate and we can provide and we can give the proper advice. That is called
So
consultancy.
for this also, I think they need to send the requirements to us, right? First.
Yes, yes. So they will go, first of all, they will go and they will create the overall requirement to us. And even
Mm.
they can send to us and they will validate from their side. And whatever security knowledge we do have, we can go and we can speak with them. Even we can contact the vendor from their side also, they will go on the vendor and we have to sit together and finally we have to make a solution.
So
Okay.
even if we have any suggestions, we can ask
Yes,
them to
exactly.
modify.
That's right. Example, when I was working in X company, so we are in PostgreSQL database. And what are PostgreSQL database version they deployed in the cloud environment is so 11.1. 11.1 is already end of life and end of support. So what is the suggestion I have to give now? So what is latest
Upgrade.
version? It is there 13.1 and 14.1. So that is latest version. So don't use and don't upgrade to once again 12.1. I validated to PostgreSQL database overall website, and then I found the latest stable release is so 13 and also 14, and regularly they are getting the patch updates. So then we have to sit together and we took the how many days it will take to migrate. So in the cloud environment from 11.1 to 13.1. They said like it will take minimum 6 months. Why? Because they have dependencies. There is the application owner also, server owner also, and the cloud environment owner also. So finally,
And
within the
one,
6 months time period, they have upgraded from 11.1 to 13.1. So those validations
do,
also you have to do.
do we have any compatibility issues when we are migrating to cloud?
Obviously, compatibility issues will occur.
Because
So
on cloud, we'll be running on different applications and all.
yes, so these compatibility issues and everything will be taken care of a business owner. So then obviously, whenever any issues will come, they can share with us. So what's going on, why the compatibility issues will occur, what is the breakage related issues will occur. Yeah. So that is the reason they did not migrate immediately from 11.1 to 13.1. They took approximate 6 months. It has got failed 2 times. So finally, this all these things they have done in the development environment before going to the production. So whatever loopholes and application breakage outage issues occurred, by the way, these things even we are informing to our site director also what's going on, what are the issues we are facing, and customer is continuously is asking, we don't want any outdated PostgreSQL database in the cloud environment. We need latest stable release version. Okay. So front end, okay, one of the person he is handling about overall product management. So that product we can deploy in the on-premise and also cloud as well. In the cloud, we are deploying in the both AWS and also Azure environment side. So that front end, who is facing the customer side. So dedicatedly, he will contact all the customers. Then he has to negotiate. So what is my role? Here, entire cloud security and also part of the SDLC lifecycle security I have to handle. Okay, why? Because
And all.
one person cannot handle these many. Okay, so even customer front end also they are giving to me. I cannot handle, look, 1 second, I have to handle 6 products. Okay, yeah, anyways.
And one more thing. So whenever you said it took 6 months
Mm,
to migrate, but the
mm,
thing till then it would be in the 11.1 version.
mm.
So you should harden it. So that is the reason why you planned for an encryption for that.
So first of all, 11.1, it is not providing, it's end of life. We did not plan for the encryption to that one. That is one thing. So, and already database hardening benchmark already we implemented long back in the 9.1 itself. So, but
Okay.
100% is not compliant, and we are passing approximate 72% complaint, I think. So that 72%, why? Because once again, that is a legacy database. That is the reason
Mm.
couple of database hardening benchmark also it's failed. And whenever they are maintaining to upgrade, whenever they are trying to do the upgrading of that hardening benchmark configuration related issues, it is showing like these OS water hardening benchmark we are using on the database side, it is not supported. Please upgrade to latest version. So that is the reason remaining 28% of the hardening benchmark related issues are pending due to these are all the legacy of the database we are using. Okay, coming back to, yes, you are right. One is mainly for the encryption and database encryption. Second thing is mainly for the database hardening side. So this is what basically all these things, whatever I'm explaining, it's a complete solution designing. Solution designing. Now, at the time of the interview, if you are going for the cybersecurity SOC operation, as said several times in the morning to till now. So do you have any cloud experience? You can say, yes, I do have the cloud experience in 1 year into AWS environment. So couple of applications we or hosting in the AWS environment. For hosting of the applications, we allocated or we enabled, not allocated. We enabled couple of services under the AWS environment side. Example, AWS Web we enabled, and also AWS firewall we enable, AWS guard duty we enable, AWS DDoS protection we enable as a shield, AWS inspector we enable. All these logs, whatever it is generating under the AWS account, we are integrating to SIM2 using the cloud connector method. So even cloud related resources and also applications and also alerts also I'm monitoring for more than 1 year. That's what I have experienced in the cloud security side. This is what you can give. That's okay. Is it clear how to answer?
So normally the network architecture of a normal one and the cloud one would be same.
Yeah, same. Normally same. Only one difference, as I said morning, here WAF will come as a front in the our normal on-premise data set in parallel to next generation firewall. Other than remaining, everything is fine as it is. Okay, so that is about cloud point of view. And if you are applying dedicated to cloud security vacancy, okay, as I said, please compare with these things. Generic one, whatever I provided in the morning, I think I closed that one. Cloud Security Alliance. So 17 controls are existing. Did you remember? Morning I have shown. Anyway, that one I uploaded in our folder. So those generic one also you can say. Whenever any application is migrating from on-premise to cloud, normally I used to validate these are the different types of controls. Okay. So those control also you can provide. That one I can upload here as well.
So those
AW,
are like which we need to do while migrating.
exactly, that's correct. Whenever we are migrating, all those 17 parameters we have to validate. That is called cloud security assessment. Absolutely right. That is called cloud security assessment. All those 17 controls are existing or not. Okay. All those services are enabled or not. In case services are not enabled, at least are we monitoring from the on-premise or not? Okay. So that is the way how you can compare. So then obviously, so otherwise you can say recent, you are applying for dedicated cloud security vacancy. You can say, I participate in one of the cloud security migration project in my current project. Okay. So that we have approximate 10 non-critical applications. All those non-critical applications we are migrating from on-premise to cloud. So this for one of the healthcare-based industry client or customer. So in that project, I am the part of in that project. I am also one of the part of the member. So whenever we have done the enabling of these particular project, we went and we verified with the different types of cloud service providers. Finally, we enabled with the AWS services based on the budget and based on the feature validation, based on the requirement and based on the solution whatever customer is looking for. Okay, so finally these are the different types of services we enable, and this is the way how we monitor. You can provide these architecture diagram. Please go through architecture. Don't say directly this is the way we can go. So these applications are accessing by our internal employee. So to configuring, to deploying, to monitoring, and also to developing of the application side. And also these applications are also accessing by the external public or customers. Whenever external public or customers, they are accessing of the applications are hosted in the Amazon Web Services. So first it will come to internet. So internet ISP router. So first security control we deployed Amazon base shield protection. It will take care of the DOS and DDoS protection. That's the first. So security product or tool or feature we enabled in the Amazon side. So from there, the traffic it will go to web application firewall. So web application firewall we are using Amazon web application firewall. It will prevent and block all WASP top 10 category of the attacks. So that is second control we enabled in the Amazon account when the applications are migrated to so Amazon related cloud migration part. So from there, it is going to load balancer. From load balancer, instead of going to the or enabling of AWS firewall, we have done the analysis with the third party bring your own license tool. And I suggested Palo Alto firewall because the AWS firewall doesn't have that many capability. So we deployed and we using BYOL Palo Alto firewall under the application migration in the cloud environment. Okay, so this is the way each and everything. So now even as guests also you can go and you can explain, that's okay. Okay, so couple of things you can say native services and couple of things you can say BYOL. Wherever lagging things are, example guard duty we will not use. Okay, so think about overall endpoint security side. So whatever instances we configured under the AWS account, so AWS is not providing any malware detection or blocking part. For that one, we are using the on-premise tool in the on-premise data center. So Sophos EDR tool. Same Sophos EDR tool we are using for monitoring of all the virtual machines or EC2 instances are deployed in the cloud environment. In the on-premise for 24/7, 365 days security operations side, we are using IBM QRadar. So whatever logs are generating for these 10 non-critical applications, we enabled CloudTrail and CloudWatch using Cloud Connector method. We integrated all those AWS 10 non-critical application logs to the IBM QRadar. Okay, so this is the way wherever lagging things are there. Already I provided comparison now. So wherever the lagging things are there, those things you can make advantage. So just example, I can provide those lagging things. AWS, okay, fine. We can use this one. DDoS, it is not that much great, but it's okay. But don't go for this one. You can say third-party Nessus tool. And AWS firewall, don't say this one. You can say Palo Alto or FortiGate. In the on-premise, we are using same thing we are implementing in the firewall side also. These are all not required anyway. These are all combination of the firewall itself. And firewall manager we are using as a FortiGate to monitoring of all the firewalls. And this is fine. And this is not required. So Amazon Detective, it's a lagging feature. We are using Vectra IDS or McAfee IDS or Symantec IDS or Sophos IDS IPS. And CloudTrail, CloudWatch, these three are drawbacks. So for that one, what we are using the SIM tool of IBM QRadar. There is DLP. Yeah. So this one we are not using. We are using the Sophos DLP. So now you can go and you can explain about this is what these things don't explain. Instead of this one, you can give the answer. We compare AWS Inspector versus the third-party Nessus tool already we are using in my on-premise. Now, why we are saying reusability also very important. What is meant by reusability? As a security architect and solution architect, will you provide cost-effective solution or not? Yes, obviously you have to provide cost-effective solution. We have to compare. Maybe in the on-premise we are using Nessus tool. Then why we have to go and we have to purchase the AWS Inspector service or licensing from the Amazon company? Already we are using Nessus tool. Nessus tool itself I can reusable for the cloud scanning also. Already I am using in the on-premise at Palo Alto firewall. So why I have to purchase once again AWS firewall? So same Palo Alto firewall I can use the cloud environment as well. I can create policies. Okay.
So we do have, like when we take bulk, it is cost would be less.
Yes, exactly. That is called cost-effective solution. This one basically whatever I am saying and explaining, comparison everything, solution architect person will do. This is what I have done for Oxford University 88 non-critical application migration from on-premise to cloud environment. And also when I was working in X company for one more, we have more than 14 accounts for machine learning and also DevOps and TechOps, Hadoop, and also other accounts. I'm the single security person to take care of all those 12 accounts. I used to coordinate with the 12 business owners. So whenever they need any solution, I used to do the POC and comparison of all these solutions and providing the design and which one is a better solution, whether we want to go with the, so whether are you using any on-premise solutions or not, comparing that one and choosing the right solution. Even in my current organization also, we are using AWS, we are using FIASM. FIASM is nothing but it's a F5 application security module. It's a web application firewall. So already we have on-premise hardware-based solution. So where we are deploying our product, we are using same thing for even our cloud-based also. We did not purchase AWS WAF. Why? Once again, we have to provide additional money to our AWS WAF. So as Priyanka said, it will come additional discount when you're contacting our FIASM vendor, like a bulk. Yes. Okay. So this is what, guys. So please try to understand and please go through all these. And if you have any queries, so let me know anytime. So, and the morning someone asked about comparison between EDR investigations versus SIM tool investigation, correct?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
I no need to explain now. I will ask, you can say. Okay, Ramesh. One of the EDR alert is triggered as a malware.
Sorry.
One of the EDR alert is triggered malware in the Sophos EDR tool side. And if you want to do malware investigation using EDR,
Sir, unable to listen your voice. Hello?
in that
Hello?
scenario, true positive, not even false positive.
Sorry, sir.
How can you
Please,
confirm that is a true positive? First question. One second. Yeah. How can you confirm that is really true positive? When so how can you confirm whether that is happened to either end user system or server? So if it is end user system, what will you do? If it is server, what will you do? So based on the EDR side, I need investigation. Can you please explain?
yes, sir. I missed some voice, sir, but no, it's okay. I will tell you.
Yeah.
I will receive the alerts in SIM tool dashboard and also email Outlook also. And when we are getting the
Why are you saying SIM tool dashboard? What is the question I asked?
okay, but dedicatedly EDR site. Okay, fine. I got the alert in the EDR tool. So I will go first of all, I will gather the alert details, so basic details, and also um, I prioritize the ticket. I mean that incident based on the risk score and severity, and after that, I will gather
So
the.
one second. Why you are explaining process to me, Ramesh? I don't want process. I need technical. I know about the process. What I want to explain. Why can't you explain in the technical way? So already, okay, so you are saying risk score, prioritization, everything why it is required. Already I given hint also. It's a true positive
Mhm.
and malware is got compromised. Then why once again verifying the risk score? Once again, why verifying of the true positive or false positive and severity classification? It's a critical, obviously, something true positive side. And also got system is got compromised malware. This is what normally they will ask back the questions to you when you're saying at the time of the interview. Don't explain about process oriented things to me. Something got compromised. It's obviously priority one ticket. Severity always critical. In that scenario, okay, first thing, okay, you said you create a ticket. Okay, later. Yeah, please go ahead. I am rectifying your mistakes, by the way, not only for him, for other people also.
It's okay.
Don't explain process oriented whatever you are following. Yeah, please.
Yeah, it is already I am taking as a server instead of the system, normal system. First
But
of
did you
all,
ask as a server?
okay.
So I given in generic one malware system. One of the system is got component malware. So how can you do investigation using EDR? Did they say that one as a endpoint or server?
No, but you said what type of procedure for server side, what type of
No. You can, now you have to give the option one, option two.
okay.
So system meaning here maybe endpoint system also will come. Maybe server system meaning a generic one. Don't think like it's endpoint. It's in generic. So any laptop or MacBook or workstation or desktop or any server in generic we can call system or asset.
Yes,
That
it's
may be either endpoint or server. Okay. Yeah. Now after went the alert and based on the alert, okay, tracing, then I found that is belongs to endpoint or that is belongs to server, then I could have been happy. Okay, please carry on. I'm rectifying once again. Yeah, please.
It's okay, sir. I gathered artifacts. I mean, obviously, about asset profile and user profile and details.
Mm.
Based on that, as I was, I mean, artifacts means I compromised system side means I take IP address, uh, IP address of the victim IP address and username, user details, user email, and the department manager email address and OS type, what is it is, whether it is a system or a server, and as well as I will gather as a IOA details also, attacker related information, mostly like IP address and ISP router information, what is the geographical location. After that, I will, based on the IP reputation, attacker IP address, I will take, first of all, I have to confirm with it is internal to internal or external to internal to external or external to internal. If it is external to, it already compromised means it is from external. I thought it is external. Based on the IP, I can conclude that. Additionally, I will gather the file details also, file name and file size, file type, what type of file it is the behind of the reason. I will check the IP reputation and also file reputation, whether it is having the malicious or not, and also what is the file hash by using the threat intelligence tools. I'm using Joy sandboxing in my environment. I gather the information.
Which EDR tool you are using in your organization?
CrowdStrike.
But CrowdStrike by default it is integrated to our MITRE ATT&CK framework and also integrated to virustotal.com. Why you are using one more third-party sandboxing tool to check the verification of the hash value?
My
Are you using CrowdStrike in your organization?
yes, yes.
So whenever any alert is triggered related to EDR, so in the EDR alert side, it is integrated to vt.com, google.com, MITRE ATT&CK framework also. You can click on that one, automatically it will redirect to vt.com and also google.com or mitreattack.com. It will give the reputation. Then why you are using once again threat intelligence piece as third party?
Yeah.
Is it clear? That is what your most of the people will miss. I will take the hash value. I'll go to virustotal.com. Why you want to take the hash value and why you want to go to the once again to vt.com? Already all these EDR and XDR tools are integrated to by default virustotal.com and also so google.com and also even other tools as a threat intelligence. You are clicking on that hash value automatically it will redirect to vt.com. It will give the verdict. There is no need to go to manual threat intelligence open source tools and there is no need to verify the manual way.
That means, I mean, based on the type of the CrowdStrike, I mean, CrowdStrike or Defender, which type of tool, based on that tool only, when we, in what cases we have to tell the sandboxing environment,
It
not
is not required
integrated.
to see by default CrowdStrike they have their own sandboxing environment.
So don't
In
take
case
it.
manual malware analysis they are expecting, so that time yes, I can take instead of the any EDR tool. Okay, please carry on. What are the mistakes you are saying? I will say yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Priyanka, please go ahead from there. Whatever he said up to, he said like he will gather the asset profiling, user profiling, artifacts gathering, file name, file size, file path, okay, file category. So
A-
later,
after gathering the after
mm,
gathering the artifacts related to file,
mm,
uh, we'll go and check with the reputation of the malicious link. If it is the, I mean, if it is affected by a malicious link, I'll check with the reputation of that particular URL. And if at all, if it's a file type, I'll check with the hash value. And if it pertains to a malicious, then I'll reach out to firewall team. Sorry, I'll go with the EDR and block this particular IP address from where this particular I mean the source. So I'll block this particular IP, and if at all I require, I'll just go with the raise a ticket to the firewall team in order to block that particular hash value of the file. So next
Blocking
I
of the
will.
hash value in the firewall.
No. EDR tool only. Network level,
Sorry.
if you want to block
You
the
said opposite way. Hash value in the firewall, you said. IP address in the EDR, you said. Opposite. That is wrong.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
After
Next.
that, I'll verify with the any mm, what do you say? Lateral movement has happened. I'll check with all the
But
other
see,
systems.
it is a true positive, I said. Okay, so someone has murdered. X is murdered Y.
Mm,
Okay, example.
mm, mm.
Without evidence whether court is accepted X is murdered Y.
No. I said that I'll gather the information related to this hash values, right?
Okay.
If I confirm only, then I will block those.
Okay, so but here I given
Mm.
as a true positive, but what is the evidence is compulsory server is got compromised, our system is got compromised. What is the evidence? How can you judge that system is got compromised? How can you confirm that the really system is got compromised? Based on what parameter you will validate? What is the analysis you will do? One is hash value verification. That's perfect. I will agree with you. You will check the hash value of the file. That file contains the malicious content or not. What is second thing?
Second one, I will verify if it is keep going on connecting to the C2 server.
Exactly. That's what I'm expecting. Even though alert is triggered as a true positive. So based on the tool, okay, so I cannot trust. I need evidence for that one. Really something got compromised as a malware. So based on the
Mm.
hash value reputation check using EDR tool, and also based on the outbound connections are going away from the victim IP to the command and control attacker IP. So I can go and I can check the verification of these attacker IP to our internal IP. Is there any connections are going on? Okay, so
Mm.
where can you check these verifications outbound connections are going or not?
firewall or SIM tool.
But
Firewall.
here why we are bringing SIM tool and firewall topic here?
Okay, then
I said only I need EDR. You have only EDR access. Why SIM tool is coming here? Can't you go to the okay, so assets tab or devices tab and identify the okay, so respective system IP and click on the system IP where the logs will be there.
Yeah.
In the EDR logs will not be there. EDR logs will be there, correct?
Yes.
So then directly in the EDR tool, it's malware logs you can verify. When you have done the what is his name? Stephen. What is no, not Stephen.
Frank
Castle.
Castle.
Yeah, Frank Castle. Yes, correct. Frank Castle. Did we go to firewall?
No.
Did we go to okay, so SIM tool?
No.
Everything you have to validate it in the EDR tool itself, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, same thing. All the actions and the activity, everything is done by EDR itself. We can validate. Yes, you have the firewall access, then you can say, yes, I have the firewall access also. Then I went to the okay, firewall and there I have checked the source IP as a victim IP and destination IP as a so attacker IP address. I found connections are going away from victim IP to outbound command and control server. But you have to give the convincing answer. Okay, so dedicatedly EDR you are working on. Don't bring SIM tool topic and firewall topics here because we are working on everything using EDR tool only. Okay, next carry on.
Okay.
Yeah. And one more thing here, don't bring anywhere data source, log sources, all those topic. Everything you have to use file name, file size, file category, hash value, lateral movement, outbound connections, everything I can validate. Don't bring anywhere SIM tool topic, SOC operations topic, and also uh, next one is data source and log sources topic here. So once again, you have to confirm one more thing based on the hash value reputation check, based on the outbound connections from the victim IP to the command and control server IP, and also EDR action it is showing as a alerted that you missed out. EDR also it will allow that
Allowed
activity.
action.
Yes, allow or alert. Yeah. Based on these things, I found that system is got compromised by malware. Okay, later, okay, you have to carry on containment, eradication, mitigation, and recovery and lessons learned that you know already. Okay, so this is the way how you can give the answer dedicated to EDR side and also dedicated to SIM tool side. In the SIM tool side, everything you have to bring logs topic. There we have the firewall logs, EDR logs, and also server logs, system logs, everything. There you can bring whatever things you want to like. Why? Because this is centralized one. You can bring any log source or data source or logs. I can go and I can validate. That's fine. But whenever you're explaining about EDR vacancy, you have to explain in this way. This is applicable to ransomware. This is applicable to malware. This is applicable to virus or worm, and so on. Okay, yesterday interrogation from Cognizant. So that is dedicated EDR vacancy. First question is roles and responsibility. Second question is explain about phishing email investigation via malicious URL link. Third question is one of the system is got compromised ransomware. What will you do? And the fourth question is explain about ransomware attack. Okay, what is MITRE attack framework and what is the difference between cyber culture process and also MITRE attack framework? That's all. Total they have taken I think 45 minutes. In between here and there, why the system is got compromised. So are you using your EDR agent or not? Okay. So this is the way in between they will ask the questions as well. So be ready for that one. Why? How I asked same as it is, they will also ask same as it is in between. They will stop. If they are giving a chance to us, we can explain very well. Sorry. In between they are stopping us. Obviously, we'll give wrong answers.
So
Okay.
the confusion part here would be like EDR also will generate logs,
Yes.
and other data sources will also generate logs, which we integrate into SIM tool along with the EDR tool also.
Yes.
So the thing is, EDR mainly the function is for only malware category of attacks,
Attacks
right?
only. Yes.
So when we are taking actions in EDR tool itself, then
Hmm.
why we are integrating EDR logs into SIM tool again?
Oh, it's a good question. Why? Because so for response time wise. So if the EDR case itself, if you want to block
Mm.
IP address, whom we have
Okay.
to contact? Whom we have to contact?
Firewall.
Firewall
If at
team.
all, if
Yeah.
it's a large organization and we do have
Yes. If
firewall
you want to
address.
block URL link,
Again, we can go with the firewall team itself.
okay. So how the verification of the URL is clicked on or redirected to other system or not? How can you verify?
I'll go with the
Example one.
firewall logs itself.
Exactly. So, but whether EDR, it will take care of all those actions because it has lot
Then
of dependency is there with the other team members to reduce the mean time to detection, mean time to recovery, mean time to identification. We are using the centralized management console. Now that is the reason same concept. Now CrowdStrike is thinking. So they brought SIM tool also. Okay. CrowdStrike XDR came into the market. Why we have to use SIM tool as a separate solution? Can't we go and can't we do everything via in the SIM tool itself? But
single console.
yeah. So yeah, SIM tool concept came into CrowdStrike side. Okay. So one more thing, it will prevent only malware cat. That is one of the drawback. What about other category of the attacks then? If
We
it's a
have to go with
flooding
the
or
single.
phishing, then we have to go to other tool. Every time going to other tool and verifying, it will take longer time to resolve the issues. That is the reason to eliminate those drawbacks. We are in centralized single console.
Right. So the drawback is like if at all you do have only EDR and you're not using any SIM sort,
Hmm.
then how can we take response on that particular attack if we need dependency on other tools like firewall and all?
Okay. In that scenario, obviously, what we need, we have to schedule and we have to immediately bring the firewall team and also email gateway team or maybe proxy team, whoever is responsible in case we are using dedicatedly EDR side. I get it what you said, absolutely right question. So I'm not using any centralized management console to take care of
Mm.
the reducing of the, okay, so response time, reducing of the investigation time. and I'm using only EDR, obviously we have to bring and we have to inform to the client, and we have to bring the client in the call, or we have to bring the other stakeholders also in the call. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
So the first case would be EDR will not efficiently close all, resolve all the type of attacks, even if it's malware.
Exactly. And not only all forget about all malware category. What about other category of the attacks? We discussed about 70. 70 is not only belongs to malware. So it is their
Right.
authentication, it is their voice top 10, it is their flooding and spoofing, and also, I mean, what else? Uh,
Flooding,
yeah.
yeah.
So these are
Flooding,
the categories.
spoofing.
So phishing email category. Yeah. Okay, that is the reason we have to use centralized management console.
That is like a SIM or SOAR platform which we
Yes,
use.
correct. By the
So,
by,
okay, one more question.
yeah, please
Sorry.
ask. Yeah.
So you said about EDR will also have logs while we are
Mm,
doing investigation.
mm,
So we'll go to the assets, we'll click on what are the
mm,
activities that have been performed by the end user.
mm,
So through that, we'll get the details, we'll collect the artifacts related to what are the actions that has been performed by this particular end user.
mm.
This that is also, do we have a log pattern in it?
There is
I
no
mean,
log pattern. Yeah, there is no log pattern. Everything, if you are going to events. So
mm,
under
mm,
the events, there is no separation here. All are like a single event tab. There is no pattern here. Everything we can see under the events tab only. That may be login into EDR tool, log out into EDR tool. And once again, so malware category of the logs, application related logs, even system related logs and configuration related logs. Everything we can see under the events itself. We have seen under Sophos EDR, once you're clicking on the Frank Castle system, we have events option. Did you
mm, mm.
remember that concept? Events tab for that particular system. So there we can see not only generic to our dedicated to one pattern, it contain whatever all application we can see, setup we can see, configuration we can see, audit we can see, and malware we can see. Total 5 categories we can see in the single tab itself under the events. So once again, we have to go and we have to check one by one what's going on. Otherwise, directly you can click on the system. And so for that particular system, how many events are there? You can filter out that events dedicated to that system. There once again can filter out malware side things to that particular system. There are a lot of manual effort is
Right.
required.
Based on the timestamp also, we can
Yes,
cross
correct.
verify
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
this particular.
Mm-mm-mm.
And one more thing, what are the telemetry logs?
Telemetry logs. Telemetry logs I'm
Because
hearing first time.
because I have seen this in Wireshark
Okay.
also, and I have read in some article they have told about these telemetry logs basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought these would be the general logs where these are used like a, what do you say? Uh, that will be generated when some incident has occurred or something like that. But I don't know exactly what it is.
This one I'm not sure, frankly speaking. Maybe in the tomorrow morning I will explain about this particular telemetry. What are
Okay.
questions you have? Please, you can make all those questions. And shall I take tomorrow morning class once again to
Okay.
clarify all
Okay.
these doubts, whatever you have?
Uh-huh.
And also one more thing, I will mm, paste couple of vacancies, whatever I'm getting, because I created dummy accounts to me. And Infosys has
Uh,
right now, I think around 17 to 18 vacancies. And there is no, one second.
I can't apply RK to Infosys
Is it so? Okay. You already worked it, right?
because my last company is that only, and